Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here to race number one of the third season of the DRL Red Bull GT Series as we're getting set to go racing here at Coca Cola Super Speedway for 26 laps of racing here in Massachusetts. Summer Wagner, one of our Rookie of the Year contenders, starts on the pole position alongside his Kasumi Takashi. Cody Smart and Elena Aurora will complete the opening two rows as you look at the rest of the 38 drivers that will be taking part in this race. A couple of drivers starting near the back of the field, but it should be an interesting race here today as the cars roll off behind the convertible pace car. A couple of things to mention. Anthony Finelli was a late entry on the entry list, along with Josh Harmon and Skylar Taylor. And Anthony Finelli is now at a bit of a disadvantage because of the fact that he did not take part in the rookie showcase race because the signups were done, or not signups were done, excuse me, the rookie showcase recording was done by the time he signed up, or Skylar Taylor signed him up. So that is why he's going to be one of the rookies in a bit of a disadvantage because he didn't get to race the 17 laps of the rookie showcase a few days ago. So he will be definitely in a big disadvantage. So we'll see what happens here in 26 laps time. We did not race here at Coca-Cola in the season 2 schedule. Have we raced in season 1? Is my question I need to ask. No, we did not. I don't think. We did not run Coca Cola in season 1. So we'll see what happens here. Third different super speedway to start off the season. Will we have our third different winner? We're going to have to wait and see as the 38 drivers come to green. And the DRL Red Bull GT Series season number trace is green. I want to lower my volume on my laptop because it's a little too loud for my taste. There we go. Elena Aurora going to go to the race lead in the 13 machine. Elena Aurora, the Spaniard driver, teammate to Addison Peterson out of the Dean of Oils Racing Stables. One of now 15 rookies, thanks to Anthony Finelli, who signed up, and Aurora will lead the first lap. There's Finelli. One of the newer drivers, part of Skylar Taylor's team. We'll see how Finelli will do in that number 64 machine. Elena Aurora going to be racing in the Diva Cup Series coming up in a few months' time, which, ironically enough, she's preparing for this race, so this will be a good test for her. I know Addison Peterson will be in that series next season, season 2, whenever that happens. Dylan Van Dyke, Tatiana Guerra, back in the same ride she drove last season. That's Andrew Williams in the 15, and we got a crash in the back. Josh Harmon has gone around. That's Takashi in the 5, Kyle Langland, Nathan Murphy, one of the Rookie of the Year contenders. Hadley Martindale's all torn up, and the caution is out for the first time today as we are racing back to the line. It looks like Elena Aurora is going to lead us back to our first caution of the day. So, unlike the rookie showcase where they almost had a yellow, but they kept it together, got to keep an eye on this right here because this is where we could end up having incidents here. Dylan Van Dyke, ooh, Andrew Williams. Oh, there they go. Now they're wrecking under caution. 49 in the wall. And now they're wrecking. Oh, there's a lot of cars involved. Oh my goodness. Oh, Addison Peterson got collected. Andrew Williams, Will Parrish. Oh, look out, Hadley Martindale. You're coming. Slow down. Oh, Kyle Link. Nope, they're piling up. Oh my god. Takashi and Murphy now have more damage on top of what they already have. Who's that on the bottom? Kaiser's got damage. That's Jackson Harrison, the 16, who's torn up. Good night, Charlie Brown. Oh, that's a great way to start off the season, as we had a incident to bring out the yellow and an incident to bring out a couple of follow-up wrecks. So let's take a look back at the replay to find out what the first yellow of the race is, as we're here in the early stages of the Coca-Cola race here for the DRO Red Bull GT Series. We talked about this in the rookie showcase. 4 wide's okay, but coming off the corner is going to result in a wreck, and that's exactly what happened here. That is Mauser who pushed up into Takashi, sorry. And as that happens, there's where Nathan Murphy gets a piece of it. Hadley Martindale goes on her side, courtesy of Kyle Langland. I believe that is the 9 of Harmon. Yes, it was. That spun Kyle Langland around. Nathan Murphy gets a piece of it. Kyle's going to get the left rear of his Corvette into the wall. So that's what brought out the yellow there. And not the start of the season for any of these drivers that they want. So that's what happened there. Now let's see what happened to cause the follow-up wreck coming to slow down to take the caution. And here it is. It looks like sorry about that. The camera was being a little finicky. Looks like the 15. Oh, the Williams brothers got together. Andrew came sharply down to the left, collected his brother Logan, took both cars into the wall, collected. There's where it collected a lot of people. There's where Peterson gets a piece. And then it just piles everybody up. Wow, the 15 got more air out of that. Blake Wagner gets a piece of it. So a lot more drivers collected in the follow-up wreck under the yellow than the drivers that caused the yellow, which I find a little baffling, to be fair with y'all. And there's Andrew Williams, and this is the problem with all these drivers who are trying to catch up to the field. Watch this. The 4, Will Parrish, not paying any attention, clips Kyle Langland. Nowhere for Kaiser to go. Nathan Murphy gets a piece of it. Oh, boy. We're going to have some retirements after this race, after the 15 and the 49 took each other out, and all of a sudden, half a dozen race cars get torn up in that. So that's what brought out the first caution of the day, as I apologize for my NR lagging just a bit. Let's jump back to the restart here at Coca-Cola. Back here at Coca-Cola Super Speedway, I apologize for the lagginess that you saw while we were looking at a replay here. Not sure what's going on with my NR game, but nevertheless, I'll try to investigate that after this race is done. Anyway, we're on lap number 7 of 26, as we're less than 20 to go before we go back to green. Elena Aurora is the leader. Tatiana Noguera is second. Trinity Lee is third. That's one of the rookie drivers this year. David Heller fourth. Henrietta Fitzwater fifth. Dylan Van Dyke sixth. Chaz Farmer, returning veteran we haven't seen since season 1. He is seventh. Eighth is Annie Crenshaw. Sean Art is ninth. And Courtney Lynn, now driving for Indiana Motorsports, completes the top 10. Drivers out after that incident, 6 to be exact. Addison Peterson, Nathan Murphy, tough break for Nathan Murphy in his debut. Addison Peterson, this is not the title defense she was hoping for. Kasumi Takashi, Jackson Harrison, Kyle Langland, and the 9 of Josh Harmon, who was involved in that first incident. Those are the 6 who have taken their cars back behind the wall and out of the race. That's probably going to be a very interesting meeting between Logan and Andrew, finding out what in the world was that all about while slowing down for the caution. And as a result, it took out a number of key contenders involved. And there was some smoke over in turn number 3. I think it was a driver who was trying to get back to the pits, and they had to call a tow truck after their car got stuck on the apron, had to teleport to pit road, and they're already done for the day as we're back to green. So there goes one of the DVR girls. That would be Addison Peterson, the defending series champion. But, it's a long season ahead of us. We have 23 races this season compared to 26 this time last season. So a lot of time for drivers to make up points and make up some ground as we go on through the season. Hopefully those drivers that DNF will look to rebound next week when we head to Atlanta Motor Speedway. That'll be at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As Elena Aurora, currently the race leader here. As Henrietta Fitzwater, she is the wife of Zachary Fitzwater. Henrietta Fitzwater, husband Zachary Fitzwater, has been dealing with some health issues, but Fitzwater is still healthy enough to race, so we're going to keep him in at least for now, pending on the situation. Chaz Farmer, last time we saw him, he drove the 86 Jaguar back in Season 1. Glad to see him back now with some new teammates he's going to have. Carlos Rodriguez. Now, let me explain about a little story that I don't think any of you guys are aware of. Carlos Rodriguez, you normally see him sign up with Nathan Orman. Well, he's now partnered with Cody Smart in a agreement. So Carlos Rodriguez in the series, now driving for Cody Smart's team. Reasons I'm not going to get in detail of why he's why he's driving for Smart, but it was probably due to free agency, would be my guess. Speaking of Fitzwater, there's Zachary Fitzwater, and there's Sean Art, the inaugural champion in Season 1 of this series. There's the Rookie Showcase winner a couple of days ago, Jarrett Underhill, who won that race, and he's in the middle of an Art sandwich. Sean Art's ahead of him. Jesse Art, who last week graduated from high school, is right behind the Ford Mustang of Jarrett Underhill. And Jesse Art, looking forward to see what she can do. Both she and Sean both went to victory lane, but were out of the title picture after struggles in this season. They both drove Corvettes. Sean's in a Corvette this season, like he was last season. And Jesse Art is in her third different manufacturer. She drove a Viper in Season 1, drove a Corvette last season, now driving for a Jaguar. The only manufacturer she has not driven is a Ford Mustang. As Tatiana Noguera and Courtney Lynn go 1-2. Courtney Lynn driving for Indiana Motorsports, like Carlos Rodriguez, it was due to free agency. Of course, we hope Courtney Lynn has a lot more success with Indiana Motorsports than what she showed in the Monster Energy Series the last 2 seasons with Nathan Orman Motorsports. And here she goes for the race lead and that's Bradley Ream right next to her. Courtney Lynn, like Chaz Farmer, has not been in this series since season 1. Courtney Lynn drove the 66, the car that Aston Peterson's driving this season. As Henrietta Fitzwater going underneath Bradley Ream. About to pass the halfway mark, lap 13 of 26, which means 13 laps will be complete, 13 laps yet to be run in this race. And look at the 98 of Summer Wagner, the sister to Blake Wagner. Of course, Blake got caught up in the incident under that first caution. I think that's him right there who's struggling trying to keep up with this pack. But Summer Wagner having a very good run. Last time by scored in the 3rd position, as now Annie Crenshaw going to go to the race lead. Annie Crenshaw, this time last season, raced in the Coca-Cola Truck Series. Of course, she also graduated from high school, but unlike Jessie Art, Annie Crenshaw was racing on the day she was supposed to graduate, but her graduation party got postponed to the next day so they can let her race at Kansas. As Timo Mauser right there in the 10. And Elena Aurora going to go to the race lead. And there's Tatiana Noguera. And we're getting closer to some lap traffic. There's Emma Kaiser. And that's Will Parrish. Those two were involved in the incident in the first caution, or in Will Parrish's case, got caught up in the aftermath of the slowing down coming back to the yellow off at turn number 2. As Timo Mauser going to go the race lead underneath the Spaniard of Elena Aurora. Elena Aurora has raced GT cars before when she ran in the GTS Array, which DVR still is going to field the team no matter what the issue is, because even though PCS Array and PSR LA are no longer affiliate with each other, the only thing that is still affiliating with the PCS Array besides Eurocars League is the GTS Array. So at least that's something, Elena Aurora is still happy about. Which, by the way, I'm not going to be discussing anything about the PSR LA in this race or going forward. And if you want to know why, you can check down the description for my, or check on my, my channel, my community tab on my channel, and you'll see why. Unless you already saw the press conference and all that. And that was actually Chaz Farmer who was trying to catch up. And there's the lap traffic as Zachary Fitzwater goes to the race lead. As we're inside of 10 laps to go. It's really broken up this pack. By the way, a shout out to Prudence Martindale, who we've not talked about her. We've talked about her sister who got involved in that first incident. Prudence Martindale nearly won the championship last season. And what was ironic is that last season we had 3 rookies going for not just the championship, but also for the Rookie of the Year honors. Addison Peterson, and there was a third driver I cannot think off the top of my head that was a part of the Rookie of the Year. I'm going to actually go back and look to answer that question. And I'll have the answer in a second. As they're about to lap, as Bradley Ream's going to go by, the car they just lapped is Samad Ozkin in the 06. That's the ride Jesse Art drove last season. Annie Crenshaw has gone by Bradley Ream to take the race lead. It was Razor Callaghan. That was the other driver who was, I think it was out of it as far as that's concerned. So, yeah. As we're looking at the pace car, high pace car. Annie Crenshaw has a win last season in the Red Bull GT Series. So she is looking for what would be her second career win in the Red Bull GT Series, her first of the season. And also, the big change for season 3 of the GT Series is that there are going to be 8 drivers battling it out for the playoffs in the Red Bull GT Series. And I think you need to be provided to stay, I think, in the top 20 in points for your win to count for a spot in the playoffs. I don't know. I have to go back and look through the Truck Series deal and see how that works. As Annie Crenshaw currently the race leader. Crenshaw will be driving the number 2 Miller Lite Dodge for Penske in the Diva Cup Series in a couple of months because this is their first race of the season. So Annie Crenshaw is also trying to get some experience getting ready for her first season in the Diva Cup Series, which hopefully you're looking forward to that coming up in a couple of months. Fitzwater trying to get in front of Martindale, and Summer Wagner's going to come right up to the inside and leave poor Martindale out to dry. As we're nearing the end of this race, we got the we got the Williams brothers coming up, Logan and Andrew, the two that tangled each other. We have 28 on the lead lap, 31 are now in the race as the 40 machine. That is Sebastian Palmer has taken his car back behind the wall due to an engine failure, as he will join the other 6 that I've already documented back behind the wall. So not the start to the season for Sebastian Palmer. And he'll also look to turn it around next week when we head to Atlanta coming up, which will be at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next week. As we're coming down to 3 laps to go in the GT Series season opener. Zachary Fitzwater. And here comes his wife, Henrietta Fitzwater, 3 wide with Sean Art, and that's Tatiana Guerra. But a good run for Dylan Van Dyke in the 99 machine. As Sean Art trying to find a way to get around Zachary Fitzwater. As we're coming to 2 laps of racing to go. Wouldn't it be a cool story to see Sean Art get his first win of the season driving car number 1 and being P1 after today's race? Tatiana Guerra in second. And here comes Henrietta Fitzwater going by her husband, Zachary Fitzwater. As they're going to have to deal with Emma Kaiser, who, ironically enough, that is Tatiana Guerra's teammate under Mr. Captain Frank. And, of course, Captain Frank looking forward to see how this will go as we're on the last lap of the race. Kaiser's entering turn number 1. Here comes the field also entering turn number 1. Zachary Fitzwater going to take the race lead. Remember, in the Gatorade Dash Series race, we had a wreck coming to the checkered flag that screwed somebody out of a win and caused a major wreck. And who's going to get screwed out? Fitzwater had to get held up. Look at this. Martindale goes to the inside to take the lead. That might have just sealed it right there, y'all. I don't think these drivers can catch her. And coming off of turn 4, after losing the championship to Addison Peterson last season, Prudence Martindale is going to win the season opener at Coca-Cola. Holy cow. Prudence Martindale used that lap car as a pick to get by everybody to take the win at Coca-Cola. But now the question we always answer, that's a little early, has Prudence Martindale locked herself a spot into this season's DRL Red Bull GT Series chase for the championship? Zachary Fitzwater will come away with second place. Summer Wagner will take the Rookie of the Year, the Rookie of the race, as she came home in third. Jesse Art, came home in fourth. Tima Mauser fifth. Sean Art will get sixth. Dylan Van Dyke seventh. Jared Underhill will finish in eighth. David Heller finished in ninth. And Tatiana Guerra came home in the top 10. I noticed there's some skid marks on the in the pit lane, so it looks like somebody got turned on the pit road. Not sure who those skid marks belong to, but didn't bring out the yellow either way. Bradley Ream, Trinity Lee, Henrietta Fitzwater, Annie Crenshaw, Chaz Farmer were your top 15. As you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, we had 28 drivers finish on the lead lap. Andrew Williams was the last on the lead lap, although I don't think his brother Logan's going to be too happy, as well as everybody else that got collected in that little stack up under the first yellow of the race, which is too bad for a lot of drivers. We had Samit Ozkin and Will Parrish, the only cars a lap down. Emma Kaiser finished 2 laps down, but still finished on in 31st position. And then 7 drivers did not complete the race as they failed to finish. Sebastian Palmer, due to a mechanical failure, a piston that blew up on his car. And then drivers out from the first accident: Addison Peterson, Nathan Murray, Kasumi Takashi, Jackson Harrison, Kyle Langland, and Josh Harmon. So what a way to start off the third season of the DRL Red Bull GT Series. And Prudence Martindale, has she locked herself a spot into the playoffs? We'll have to find that out the same time as we do. Next week, we head to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Hope you'll join us for that. If you enjoyed today's race, as always, from here at the Coca-Cola Super Speedway, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCS Race Crew today. We showed your full finish results. Your points are down in the description heading into next week at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Also, be sure to join the DRL Discord. The link will be down in the description below. Until then, and until next week from Atlanta Motor Speedway, I've been DeVol signing off. Glad to start the third season of the DRL Red Bull GT Series. We'll see you next week in Atlanta as you've been watching another broadcast of the DRL Red Bull GT Series on the PCS Race Sports Exhibit channel, celebrating 14 plus years as the best NR racing around the world since 2017. So long from Coca-Cola.